We've had our legacy business, Connamara Systems, for 25 years doing custom application development. During that time, we had developed a product in-house, and it made sense to us to separate the companies because running a service business like custom software development versus a product company delivering a product to customers is run two different ways. Our product is EP3, which is Exchange Platform 3, so we provide the marketplace and exchange infrastructure to run an exchange.
What kind of customers does Connamara Technologies have?
40% of our customers are regulated entities in derivatives and in equities. So those exchanges are up and running, or either up and running or in the process of being approved by the regulatory entities. The rest of our clients run the gamut from, we have some crypto infrastructures based in the US. We have equity platform in Brazil that we're running. So there's a number of customers. We had very good uptake in the platform in the last year and a half. What's really interesting, I think, about our business is that when we designed the platform, we understood that our customers would generally be regulated. This is not a platform for some unregulated entity that wants to trade some, crypto or something and doesn't want to skirt the rules. As a matter of fact, most of our customers who are not regulated actually want to act like they're regulated. They have rule books. They have, they understand that they need to, for their own brand, they have to act like a regulated entity. So we built the platform in that regard, and you can tell it, and there's two key things. One is how we approach customer requests for our platform. And that is a part of the product business is that you always have customers asking for new features and functionality. The number one thing on our priority list, how we prioritize those requests, is this request preventing our customers from getting regulatory approval of any kind? Number one, we have to prioritize that for our customers. Without that, they can't be in business. Number two would be any sort of issue or functionality that impacts their line of business or prevents them from going into production. Because a lot of times our customers will come, they'll be in a regulatory approval process, and then there's production. When they have to wait a while for that regulatory approval, if they're not ready to go in production when that approval comes through, then we just want to make sure they are. We want to make sure it's not the technology preventing them from getting regulatory approval. The third thing then would be if our customers are, if somehow it would impact their line of business or improve their line of business, allow them to reach more customers, we'll prioritize those. So just from those three priorities, you can see that the company itself is very customer focused, and because we've been in capital markets for so long, we understand the importance of regulations and the regulatory frameworks that we need to work in for trust for the customers. We've done that. The second thing, the second way I think we differentiate ourselves is that a company that's a year and a half old, we went and got SOC 2 Type 2 compliance, which if folks aren't familiar with that, that's the Service Organization Controls Framework that allows, that attests to that you have proper controls and governance in security for your company. And the Type 2 part of that means that you get audited every year to ensure that you're complying to your own policies and procedures. So once again, knowing that our customers are regulated, we don't want them to have to explain to the regulators about their vendor, about the policies and procedures of the vendor. We can just produce this audit and we show it. I would be curious to know, other vendors that go through this, because it's quite a long audit, and it's quite a extensive audit to be able to have this. But we really wanted that because we knew our customers would be regulated, but we have to make sure that they don't need to worry about their vendor going forward.
What exchange is running the most volume through your platform?
Probably a crypto infrastructure firm. And I don't call it necessarily an exchange. They're using our matching technology. It's probably running the most. The other end of the spectrum is that what we do, what's happening in the exchange space is that there's commodities or asset classes that were previously opaque, or are opaque markets, and don't have a lot of price discovery that we're bringing online. Those don't necessarily have a lot of volume, but there could be very large transactions. those sorts of things. But just to get that price transparency into that marketplace is beneficial to everyone there. The exchange in Brazil that's doing equities, they have an interesting way that their market mechanisms. They certainly have a central limit order book, which is, that's key, right? But we also support auctions. So they're doing very small cap stocks that instead of going through an expensive IPO process, they'll bring them on their platform, before they're big enough companies are traded enough to go onto the larger exchanges in Brazil. But they have like a 2-day auction of, allow the bids, allow the liquidity to come in, then they do an auction. Then from the auction, they place it into the central limit order book from that point. So we're able to accommodate a lot of different market mechanisms besides central limit matching and auctions. We also do have RFQ. A lot of the world is RFQ. That's the way the market's evolved. The other thing we are adding on our roadmap this year is bilateral matching. I mean, there's a lot of the world is bilateral trading. You get rid of this. If you don't have a central, CCP, it's going to be bilateral. There's going to be an agreement between you and I that I will deliver you the assets and you'll deliver me the funds. So we're getting that into place as well this year.
Does your trading platform include a front end?
For Connamara Technologies and EP3, we wanted first and foremost to be very robust transactional management, matching of the orders. The trading front end itself, I find that is like the secret sauce for the exchanges a lot of times. We would think of, we want a CQG or trading technologies, we want the charts, we want the watch lists, we want all that functionality on our front end. They may just need something very simple because the customers of the exchange are not traders a lot of times. They could be a bank controller or someone who doesn't trade in the markets all the time. So they need a very simple user interface. How you present your market to your customers is very personal from exchange to exchange. So we don't, on the backside for clearing and trade practice surveillance, we expose APIs and we connect with trade practice surveillance providers and CCPs. Those are businesses in and of themselves. Just like trading front ends, that's a business, right? If we want to be in that business, we'll be in that business. We're in the exchange platform business.